Laying low, turn on the big show, what's the blend? Uncle Sonny on the mic, news like a whirlwind. Current events got the streets all wildin'. Top spots, local stars shining, keep smiling. Hip-hop drama, the gossip they spinning. Loud's Media Group, you know we winning. Event stories, yo, we're never missing. Tune to the show, something surreal and glistening. Got the scoop straight from the corner. Exclusive tales, ain't no foreigner. Street lights bright, local heroes rising. Bigz got the heat, criticizing and prizing. Midweek sessions, chat lines glowing. Uncle Sonny got the vibe, spotlight showing. Loud's in the cut, always growing. Big city tales, real truth flowing. Hip hop drama, the gossip they spinning. Loud's Media Group, you know we winning. Event stories, yo, we're never missing. Tune to the show, something surreal and glistening. From block parties to the sold out seats. Bigz got the beat, news on repeat. Your daily dose ain't nobody lacking. Held down by facts, no exaggerating. Real truth flow. Real truth flow. Hip hop drama, the gossip they spinning. Loud's Media Group, you know we winning.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome to the Uncle Sonny Bigz Show, where you come and sit down and talk with your favorite uncle, man. Tonight, I'm ecstatic, hey, man, I feel good about tonight because I grew up with this young guy. Call him young, we about the same age. I like it though. Tiger Lee Hall.
Hey, how you doing, Mike? Thanks for having me here, man.
Hey, likewise, brother. One of Rocky Mount's own. I seen how this young man done what he done with no hesitation. I seen the hard work that he put in. I seen how he went and got something. And tonight, we're going to talk to the champ, Tiger Lee Hall, about his whole career. And tonight I want to ask you, Lee, first I want to say thank you for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the question I want to ask you starting out, man, boxing is unique.
Yes.
You got to have that dog in you for boxing.
For sure.
And what moment you said, I'm going to start kicking ass?
All right, so the story of my career, how I got started as a boxer. Actually, I was behind those walls, and I developed a relationship, with God, and before that, I was doing things that I know I shouldn't have. And then once I realized the effect that I had on the community, and I started seeing the bigger picture of the effects that I had on the community, I had to do some soul searching. And I asked God one day, I said, because he showed me where everything that he do to you or happen to you in your past is to build you for your future. So I just asked God one day. I was standing in the mirror and I was like, "Well, God, why you always kept me in shape like this, right? Like, and I had went through like this boot camp and it taught all these mental disciplines and stuff, all this mental toughness, right?
Right.
And I was like, well, why did I go through all this, right? So I went into the day room and I looked up at the TV and I saw Zab Judah. Zab Judah wasn't the champ at that time, but I said, that guy gonna be the champ right there. And then it just hit me. He was like, "You gonna box?" And I'm sorry, this is the kind of relationship I got with my God, just like that. He said, and I was like, and when he tell me these things, I accept it like it's done. Like I be like, just like you talking to me right now, and be that real to me.
Being obedient to his word.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm a box. So I was like, how? I was like, we ain't got a gym in Rocky Mount. What? I said, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go to Philadelphia because my family got a gym there, right? And I'm good visiting the city, but I really never wanted to live there. I like to visit, right? So I called my aunt, and she like head of security at the airport, and she was like, "Yeah, we'll get you a job there, and you can go to the gym and all this and this and that." So I was like, "Okay." So, but then I found out that with my time, I couldn't get there. I had to be released before I can. It'll took like a year for them to make preparations.
Right.
So I called home, and one of my friends said, "Hey man, somebody looking for you." I said, "Who?" He was like, "John Battle, John Allen
John.
Battle." And I said, "Why? What's up?" And he was like, "He want to introduce you to this boxing trainer." And I haven't even spoke to them about my vision.
Boy, God was putting that thing
Yeah,
together quick for you.
yeah. I hadn't even spoke to them, so I said, here it is. Like
Here it is.
he done paved the way. So I get home, and I give it to John, man. He went all the way out his way to make sure that I got to the gym. And once I got to the gym, and I was introduced to my trainer, who would become my more than a father figure and a mentor. I shared things with him, and he shared them with me in return. We just connected, and once we connected, it's like I put all of my energy into boxing, training, studying the sport, and it would. No matter what was thrown at me, I wouldn't stop and wouldn't give up. I had to. First I had to compete against a lot of fighters over North Carolina, just sparring, the sparring wars from Durham to Raleigh to Greensboro. A lot of things go down in the gym, and finally, I made my debut in '99 at the Boathouse in Norfolk.
Okay, let's start right there before
Okay.
we talk about your debut.
Okay.
Let's talk about a little bit about once you got with John Battle. Shouts out to John Battle.
Yeah,
He's a
shouts
boxer
out to
too
John
that
Battle.
put in that
Yes.
work as well.
Yes.
The training, the training regimen
Right.
to get you to your debut. How
Right.
was that?
All right. So first, I knew that I had to jog, but I didn't know how much I had to jog. I didn't know how important jogging was. Right.
Win that win.
Yeah, the wind, the cardio, and when you in the gym, you training. Well, the way my trainer trained us, it was nonstop. From the time you got in, it never stopped. It was just from one thing to another. It just never stopped. So I needed that wind and the conditioning inside of the gym. A lot of people they couldn't handle it. It's like my trainer tried to push you out the gym. He tried to put it on you so hard because he wanted to filter you out. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I just endured everything that came to me. And at that time when I was jogging, people thought it was a little strange, like, hey, you jogging, you know what I mean? But I'm like, well, I know what they got it on facing got to do. So I know jogging was important for my cardio, for my stamina. And in the gym, like I said, the bad work, the speed bag, the shadow boxing, the conditioning, the sparring, those are the things that take place in the gym.
I know, man, you spoke on the phone a little bit, and you wanted to touch on how during that time
Yeah.
you're training in Rocky Mount, right?
Yeah.
You jogging late nights, early
Yeah.
mornings,
Yeah.
how it was very difficult
Yes.
for you.
Yeah, so at that time, you gotta, realize, this was before Mayweather came with the 24/7 and educated the public more on boxing. So people wasn't, as in tune at that time. I would say, I'm sure some people know about boxing, but the general public just wasn't educated on the sport. So me, a man on my tone, jogging at late nights, it was times that I would get harassed, by police officers. They would come up a one-way street, and I'm like, man, come on, I got headphones on, mouthpiece in. I mean, I'm jogging. I got my wraps on my hand. I get stopped, I get pulled. They tell me about somebody trying to break in a place downtown. I'm like, I'm just going through all this, a lot of unnecessary stuff like
And
that.
this was in the early 90s, correct?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Absolutely.
early
Yeah,
90s.
Yeah, 98, 99, around that time, yo.
Early mid 90s,
2000,
yeah, about
yeah.
2000. Did that fuel your hunger when you start seeing them doing
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that to you?
Well, absolutely. You know, I had the flames up under me even before then because I realized how the system out here was. It was I realized how it was traps out here that was laid for the general public, for the minorities. And once I realized these traps, it was solely up to me not to fall into these traps.
Okay.
But the simple fact that they had these traps up here, I just thought it was so unfair, especially to some of the youth that was coming up that, you just can't see these things sometimes. Everybody ain't educated on these things, And a lot of things I didn't see, but once I became abreast and I started to see these things, I realized that I had to make a change for myself, and hopefully others could see that change and they know that they was able to do the same thing as well.
I saw your whole transformation, dog.
Yeah, thank you.
I was on that, like you said, I was on the outside looking in. I was watching and rooting.
Thank you.
The whole while I said, look at Tiger Lee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you said up to your debut, right?
Yeah.
When you put them gloves on for your first bout,
Right.
what went through your mind?
All right, so the first time I ever put gloves on in my life, first I want to say that's when I was about 8. I was in Baltimore, and me and this guy, I was at a visit, and me and this guy about my age, we were young, we kind of like scuffling, and then my aunt come out there, she said, "Y'all want to fight? Y'all put these gloves on." We put the gloves on, and I got the best of him, but my aunt put the glove on, and she started jabbing me, right? And I was so mad that I was crying, but I couldn't get past her jab. It's like every time I moved, that jab would just stop me, and so I kind of realized, I kind of understood then what the jab meant, right?
She created the jab for you then.
Yeah, she did.
That's
She
what this
made me
stuff.
respect the jab.
Hey, respect the jab. Hey,
She
you
was
gotta
proud,
respect
proud.
it, hey, cause that jab will get you
I
now.
couldn't get past the jab. So my first fight, like I said, out of Norfolk, so it was weird. Like, you got a lot of fighters there. They getting ready. They going through their physicals and stuff like that. And so in that time, you didn't know who you was fighting until you got there.
Huh?
Yeah,
Blind.
and it's like you sign a contract. It's like it was just so different how it is now. Like the weights could be off. It was like you gotta understand. Boxing primarily is a mob sport. Is how it started. Things have changed now though, right? So at that time, you just didn't know who you were fighting until you got there on the scene. So, but when you traveling, you're being a journeyman. So the promoter of the other fighter, they know who you are. But you don't know who they are, right? So I'm fighting this guy. He's like, I fight at 147. This guy's like 160, probably 70 pounds. And he had
almost a whole other weight class.
Yeah. But at that time, it didn't matter, right?
Okay.
So he was like making all these different antics and stuff. I didn't even think I was fighting him. I was like, I said, this guy right here, he ready to get busy. I'm saying what's up, right? Because I'm like, it's a lot of fighters there. He ain't in my weight class.
So you over
so
there.
I'm thinking, I'm like, Dad, this is gonna be a good fight when whoever he fighting, right? But so come to find out, I was the one fighting him.
Did it make you mad, or did you look like what the world?
But at that time, I was in my zone. I was in my zone to the point where like it was like it didn't even matter who it was. I had to win. It was my first fight. I had so much built up in me. So, and sure enough, I stopped them in the third round. The promoter stopped the fight.
3?
Yeah, third round.
You clocked in on them in 3?
Yeah, I got him in the third, yeah.
Nice.
The promoter stopped the fight. So, yeah, but when I was getting my hands wrapped, it's like something in me changed. It's like I could feel the hard work of my trainer, his passion, his love. It's like it's just something about when he wrapped my hands up. Like the person that people see outside of the ring with me, no matter how much you want to see it, you can never see Tiger until you got to come to a fight. You'll have to see that guy.
Right. But the other guy, I wanted to say the other guy's name, but I didn't know if you want me to say the other guy's name.
Yeah.
I know.
Because it's like I don't even know if I'm Tiger, but Tiger is a spirit,
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's like with boxing,
Mhm.
my uncle said you gotta have the dog in you.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have the dog in you from the
Yeah.
like he laid some gloves on my bed
Mhm.
when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I always knew how to defend myself.
Yeah. Yeah. We.
But with boxing,
Mhm.
like you said,
Yeah.
it's strenuous. You
Yeah.
got to train.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
an
go out there
art.
playing.
Yeah.
Because that chin got to be
yeah.
tough too now.
Yeah. It's an art, and every second, every movement
Mhm.
counts.
Count.
And I had to learn that because we typically we just say we can fight, you know.
It's calculated.
But then when you get in that boxing ring, you realize that every ounce of energy, every position,
Mhm.
every second, it means something, and it count every angle.
The duck, the
You know,
roll, the
yeah.
shoulder roll.
And you so to be able to get in there and perform like that, you got to repeat this thing 4 or 5 days a week over and over and over again.
so
Right?
it's second nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Because once they tap your chin and that chin ain't
Yeah.
strong,
Yeah.
it's good night out of ring.
Yeah. And it the first time I got knocked down, I was in DC. I got knocked out twice, but I came back to stop them because again, the mental toughness.
Right.
You know, it's a thing called flash knockdown, and then you out cold. I never been out cold, but I had flash knockdowns, and I may have got damaged in fights where I had broken hand, had broken ribs, broken orbitals. You know, the damage could be so strenuous sometimes in fights when you in shape you can't go down. Then they'll have to stop the fight because those fights, like I said, I finished the fight with a broke rib in Vegas. I done had my hand broke like 3 times, orbital fracture. Yeah, I think that was about it. Yeah, I got
I know
cut.
that thing hurt the next day because we
That-
playing football
Yeah,
and I get
yeah.
and my hand, like I was saying last week on the show, the next day my hands look like mittens. Imagine your face, your
Yeah.
orbital messed up.
It even
your
happened in
ribs.
sparring. And then once I broke my hand in sparring, that's when I was like, man, I had to back off the right hand. But that used to be my weapon.
That's
you
the
know?
power.
That used to be my weapon. And when I first started out early in my career, and then it became my body shot. I started mastering the left hook to the body, you know. But yeah, man, I love it, man. I love when I'm in that ring, when I'm in shape. I love that high. I love that when you defeat the person in that ring, it's like you have overcome everything outside of the ring in that one moment. In that,
Now,
Mhm.
when you fighting, right?
yes,
I know for sports playing football, some nights I could hear everything around me.
yeah,
Crowd, I can hear crowd, I can hear everything. But then there's some nights when I'm in that zone,
right,
I can't hear nothing
Mhm.
but the people that's on the field.
yeah. It's like that in the ring.
So it's like that as well.
Yeah, because when you're traveling, you're going to somebody else's hometown, you expect the, you
You
know.
know, yeah.
But when you put up a good fight, most of the time the crowd simmer down. They respect you. The fighter respect you, and y'all leave it all in the ring, and it's over.
So the moment when you get that good body shot or that hook in and you hear the crowd go,
Well, a lot of time I can't even
Can't
hear
hear-
that.
so you zoned
Nah.
out. You all the way. You all the way
I
in
can't
it.
even hear that.
Yeah, you already
yeah.
in it.
It's business. It's what you practice for, what you train for. You can't even feel nothing. I mean, it's weird, man. I can't explain it, but when you really, really zone in like that, you can't feel. You can't.
You got to be on point.
Yeah.
Cause one wrong move in that square, like you said, it could lay you all the way down.
Yeah. My sister asked me one day, she was like, how do you feel when you hitting them and you doing this and this and that? I said, I don't feel nothing, right?
Business.
But my last fight, that's when I knew that, oh man, I changed. Like, I felt something. I felt this kind of sympathy.
Yeah. Sympathy get you hurt in there.
Yeah. I did. I started to kind of feel that the last.
So that
I don't know why. But it was just I maybe because I got older, and then I started seeing that, hey, this guy, he where I used to be, and he's working hard and trying to, and then it was just weird. I can't explain it, man. But it's like I started,
With boxing,
Mhm.
I know a lot of it was mental.
Yes.
And how did it change your life?
Boxing changed my life tremendously. I would say before I actually asked God. I said that I know we have churches and stuff like that, but I carry myself with me everywhere I go. I need something that's tailor made for me. You know, and He gave me boxing, and it allowed me to put all of my aggression, my energy, my passion, you know, into that place that I call the special place. Because the thing about boxing, we have basketball, we have football, things of that nature. It's a team sport, right? The unique things about boxing is when my trainer walked me to that ring, he has done his job, and then it's up to me as an individual to execute that. When you see me jogging the streets, you see me jogging these streets. I appear alone, but I'm not alone. Of course, I got one person on both sides of me saying stop, the one saying go, But my trainer is not there. No fan base is there. No one says get up and go run. See,
Self-motivated.
you got to be self motivated.
Yeah.
So that builds your mental toughness, your wheelhouse,
And your character.
and once you become disciplined like that, you have self control. See, so self control is very important, right? Like even when someone, and another thing I had to learn is about a ego. I had to let go of the ego. See,
Okay.
like so if you felt disrespected, most of the time it's because it's a lack of understanding somewhere. But what hurt you, what really bothered you, what bothered you was something bothered your ego. I'm the type of person, I grew to a point where if I accidentally stepped on someone's shoe, I don't have no pride where I can't wipe off that person's shoe and say, "I'm sorry." Because I'm gonna respect people the way I want to be respected.
Facts.
That's one of the things I had to
Facts.
learn and had to implement in my life. To what you put out here in this world,
You're going to definitely get back.
yeah, and this is the world that we're building for our kids.
Okay.
You can't just love your kids and your household and don't care about others, because that world out there is what this is what you about to put your kid into. You see, so we got to care about all of it. That's my thing. So I try to express myself in the most respectful, humblest way that I can. Once I really got groomed in the sport, and I knew what I know about boxing, and then Rocky Mountain, everybody got pride. You know what I mean? It's a lot of winners here. We got a winning spirit here, right?
A whole lot of legends
people
here,
from Rocky
too.
Mountain here
Yeah.
have winner spirit. Nobody want to be last. Everybody say I'm this. You know what I mean? And that's a great spirit to have, right? But when we started clash with that, that's where the problem occurs, right? So I wanted to show that you can still be the best within yourself, but still respect others. You know what I mean? I try to be big on respect, man. I just think that's important,
Very important.
and that's what I had to grow to.
That's very.
Boxing really taught me that. If I can get in the ring and man and man can battle, and then after the fight we can shake hands and hey man, it's a lot of discipline in that, not being reckless.
I know boxing was your main priority, right? At one time in your life. But I do also know that you have degrees as well.
Yes. So my trainer used to tell me, "Hey, why you boxing? At school?" And I used to be like, "Nah, I just want to box." Right. So maybe earlier in my life, I wasn't even disciplined enough to sit there in school and just concentrate you know.
Right.
But when I went back, because I said, you know what, if I start boxing and I have to work for somebody, I want to give myself options, right? So I said, well, and just to all the kids out here or anybody who's not even a kid and you want to go to school, let me tell you this. When I said, if I could pass all my classes the first semester, I'm actually just be focused and I'm gonna really put my mind to this thing like I do boxing. I said, if I pass all my classes the first semester, I said, I got this thing. Took 4 classes, I passed them all, and after that, it just became easy because everything like a stepping stone. It prepares you for the next and the next. So I took that approach and it worked out for me. So I wound up getting a degree in electrical and electronic technology and another in electrical system technology.
Good careers. Good careers. The most important thing that I heard tonight, right, when you start speaking, that's why my show is designed for certain people. The first thing you tied into your whole life was God.
Oh yeah, that's the
And once you said that, I knew how it's going from there.
yes.
You know, because he was with you in every fight.
Yeah, every time.
Now, your first title match, when you won it, what feeling came over you? Because I know what came over us when we won our first football
Yeah,
championship.
right,
How
yeah.
did it feel to you?
All right, so I was suspended from boxing for a couple of years because I didn't make a fight out to Puerto Rico, and I had another contract out there to fight at the Dover's Down against Michael No Joke Stewart. So the fact that I had 2 contracts out there and I couldn't make both of them, I got fined a crazy amount of money, and because they wanted me to be in Puerto Rico for a long period of time before the fight, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna be out there for like weeks at a time. Like I don't know how the food is gonna react with me. They like, yo, we got a gym you can go to. I don't know the people there. Like who's watching me? What gym you sending me to? All those factors. I was like, no, I'm not gonna be out there for a extended amount of time. You know what I mean, like that. But just shoot me in at least 3. I go a week at the most, but not like 2 or 3 weeks before a fight. We don't do that. So I got suspended. We had to go through all these the federal courts and all that stuff. And so the first fight I had got a chance to fight for, the first title was out in VA, right? And first come back, whatever, and I lost that fight. I was like, man, I said, man, I lost. You know, I mean, I seen the belt, it's all beautiful and everything. I lost, and then I said, I got to keep, you know, I got to get myself in shape. I got to get myself in better shape. So I kept training, and then I got another shot to fight a guy from VA, and he had won his last 5 fights. He was a southpaw, matter of fact, and but I was in super shape, man. I was so ready for this fight. I was at the best shape. It's a certain way that I train that I don't train all the time. And when I train that, I run this certain route. I swim. I do my strength training. I mean, that's when I'm training all the way, right? And the fight was it was easy to me. You know what I mean? I got a little cut in the fight, but the fight itself it felt so easy. And I stopped him in the 5th round, and I felt like, matter of fact, before the fight, I knew I was gonna win because before I got offered that fight, again, I had a dream, and God was just like, before this date, you're gonna be a champion. And when that call came, I said, this is it. The same way I got my name, Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
The way I got my name, and I wanted to share this with you, everybody, right? How I got the name Tiger. So when I was a child, I didn't really like cats, right? But it was this little cat would always come in my backyard. I had a ditch in my backyard, right? And this little cat would come in my yard, and I would always take the cat and I would throw him up in there as high as I can because I was fascinated because this cat was always laying on his feet. no matter how high I throw this cat, he
Boy,
would do
Peter
these-
gonna be on your ass,
Yeah,
boy,
yeah, I
back
know.
then.
I'm sorry, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, but you'll love me in the end, though, right?
Right, good.
Because so every time I throw this cat in there, he would do these switches. He would always lay on his feet. I was just so fascinated by it, right? So my parents, they let me keep this cat. 'Cause I started like this cat. I would call this cat Tiger, and when I call this cat, I let him roam, and when I call out his name, he'll come running out of nowhere to me, right? So they let us keep him in the house. Cause I must admit, when I was little, I was very, very poor. I was the kind of poor that I didn't even know I was poor. You know,
Most of us was,
yeah.
dog.
You know, I had to cut wood. I had mice in the house. You know, I was a poor kid. You know what I mean? But I was happy because I didn't know no better, right? So this cat would jump on me and lick me and wake me up in the morning and everything. So I love this cat anyway. So one day I went outside. I had to be 8 years old. I went outside and I was calling him. Tiger, Tiger. And the cat, he didn't ever show up. And it hurt me.
Right.
I realized, I said, man, I was just so sad, man. I probably cried, right? So anyway, now up to date with my name, right? So when God, you know, showed me the box of vision and all that, I was like, man, I said, normally God give you a new name when he changed you, right?
Right.
I said, so God, what's my name gonna be, right? I asked him, hey, give me a name. They said his name. I was like, nah, that ain't it. So I laid down one night. I was like, God, you know, I'm on a name, whatever. So when I woke up, he was like, you gonna find your name today. I'm not lying to y'all. That's how God talked to me, man. Like, y'all might think I'm tripping. But I was excited. I was like, man, I'm gonna get my name today. So what I do is I turn every vessel into a port for God to speak through.
Okay.
I just listen.
Okay.
I listen because he has control over all things, right? So he can do whatever he want with any soul at any time. So the first place I went, and this young brother might not even know this, but you about to know tonight, right? So I get to the mall, and keep in mind I'm looking for my name, so my ears is open. I'm waiting for God to speak it, right? Soon as I see this person that I haven't seen in about 8 years, man. Like he was my little brother friend, but I know him since he was little. And so since I got my listening ears on, I'm waiting for God to speak. And first thing he says, "What's up, Tiger?" So I knew it right then and there. I said, "That's it. That's my name." Right? Hold on, and get deeper. So later that day, I go to a Chinese restaurant. I never really noticed the paper that they have out in front of you, right? It's the Chinese zodiac. I never even heard of the thing, right? So I asked, "What's this?" Like, it's Chinese zodiac, blah. So I look it up. I'm a tiger. So there go two confirmations.
Two
right?
tigers.
Yeah. So then I reflect on it when I was young, and so I made it an acronym: Trust in God, Everlasting Righteousness.
Trust in God, everlasting
Righteousness. So that's tiger to me.
tiger.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, it works, man, because I can't even call you by your government name. It's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hey, look, hey, you want to hear something funny? So last week, I want you to go back
Okay.
and rewind the show when my last guest was up here talking about you.
Really? Wow. Okay.
And he said that you did not want nobody to call you Tiger at one point in time. You said, my name is XYZ.
Cause I like I said, man, I don't know. It was like I don't know, man. It's like I ain't want to get the ego thing going.
You trying to separate.
Yeah, I try to separate from that person. Yeah, I do. That's one of the reasons. Like when I went to school, when I got a job, I didn't tell nobody I used to box. I wouldn't even talk about boxing and stuff like that because I try to separate the two.
I do know boxers has to register their hands when they come
Yeah,
professional, right?
That's a fact.
Now, I just found out the other month that y'all got to pay for them belts.
Well, the sanctioning fee.
The sanctioning fees for belts, right?
Yeah, it's a sanctioning fee. Yeah.
And them belts ain't cheap.
No, they're not. Not the sanctioning fee is not, but it depends on what belt. and what sinks in the body
Right.
is, you know what I'm saying.
What do you have in store? Because I know me and you talked about some things.
Shit.
What do you have in store? Because I know boxing is your passion, right? What things you working on that can help the youth?
Okay.
Because I know me and you talked about that. I want you to touch on that
Yeah.
for the youth.
All right. So one of the things the way I really wanted to end my career is the vision was always I wanted to fight one time at our center, right? Because I dreamed about the center before it even built. People don't believe, and I was like, anyway, it got built. So, and I wanted a gym that's gonna be in honor of my trainer, Mr. Leroy Gray, and I have a logo. The name of the gym, it would be called Gray Hall's Gym. His last name is Gray. My last name is Hall. Gray Hall's Gym. And I wanted the gym to cater to multiple things. One of the things I wanted to cater to was the youth. The youth would they're not educated on it, but they would have insurance on the United States Boxing Commission, and they would be able to compete for the Golden Glove, the Silver Gloves, and then eventually they can compete for the national, and then when they get to a certain age, they can compete to go to the Olympics. This is how prospects are scouted. They are scouted this way, and then that's when the people pay extra money to turn you pro, right? But the juvenile that is probably say they get in a little trouble or whatever, and they go into court. I want to tie it in with the court system where it'll be an alternative for a troubled youth or troubled juvenile. Say they want to send them to training school, but it's an option. Can you let them come to the gym for X amount of months and see does it make a change in his life?
Like a first time offender,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, like in school, performance, and all of that. Because we don't just teach boxing, we teach life lessons with the boxing, So, and then I wanted a program where, like, say people got high blood pressure, diabetes, they wanted to come in and work out, things of that nature like that. And also pros, so different times, even an hour for our cops and our fire department, these people want to stay in shape, understand, where everybody can get that experience,
Get that cardio, get that workout in.
Yeah.
I know that was part of some of the stuff you're talking about, your legacy and what you want to bring back to Rocky Mount. But you also wanted to talk about the experiences you had with Rocky Mountain legends that are boxers.
Yeah, I do.
And
I do.
like how a lot of celebrities don't rep home.
Yeah, right. So one of the things is that when I read what are the requirements to be in the Rocky Mountain Hall of Fame, so I flash back to 98, 99 when I first made my debut, and then when my name got a little known to the public here, it was like all of a sudden, it was just like, okay, Sugar Ray Leonard, right? Now, I met Sugar Ray Leonard out in Charlotte at the Adam Mart. We had a conversation, He's a cool guy. I love Ray Leonard, you know what I mean? And, my thing was this, like, when you say bronze recognition to this town, every time I fought, no, I wasn't a world champion, but when I fought in Montreal, and I fought against the first Haiti-born world champion, we went the distance, Joshi and Alcine. Every time they say by way of Rocky Mount, when I fight, I rep Rocky Mount. So I say, even though I may train in Wilson or wherever I'm at, I say it's always gonna say Rocky Mount, right? So when I was a youth, I never heard of Sugar Ray Leonard being for Rocky Mount to inspire us.
Right. I did when I was younger, but
I didn't hear. I didn't. Sugar Ray knew I was Rocky Mount. He never said, "Hey, yeah, I was Rocky Mount," whatever the case may be. But even if he was from here, you know what I mean? It's like, what school did he go to? You know what I mean? Like, I jogged these streets of Rocky Mount. I went to these schools in Rocky Mount. I rep Rocky Mount everywhere I went. I brought recognition to this town. It may be on the ground. However, you know, so I fought in the Madison Square Garden. I fought in Las Vegas 3 times. I fought all over the U.S., in Montreal as well. But every time, it's Rocky Mount, it's Rocky Mount, it's Rocky Mount. You know, it's no knock on Ray Leonard, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I mean,
And no one never came to you about seeing can they get you inducted into the Rocky Mount Hall of Fame.
No. I'll be satisfied if you know the route I run. I want to tell the people about the route
Street,
I run.
one
I want them to know the significance about the route that I run. When I run this route, it's like a circle, and within that circle, it encompasses so many different neighborhoods. That is what put the fire up under me. You see a lot when you run.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
people don't understand that. I see a lot when I run, and I touch Arlington Street. I touch the neighborhood. I touch Little Raleigh. You know, I touch all these people because, you know, my route, I go over the bridge.
How many damn miles you run a day?
Listen, here's the route. I start at the library. I go all the way down to past the fire station in Little Raleigh. I make that left. I go over the bridge. I go all the way down Raleigh Street. And I come back with the East Grand, and I make the left on East Grand, go and then bring me back to the library. That's my route. That's my coming route. When people see me jogging.
So you go down to come back.
I go all around. It's a circle. I leave the library, and I go all the way down to the fire department in Raleigh from the library. Then you make that left on Raleigh Road, and you go over the bridge. Then you go all the way down to Raleigh Street till you get to East Grand. Then you make the left on East Grand, and that takes you back to the library. That's my route. That's my basic coming route.
And here I am, thought I was doing something because I was running down Leggett Road, through Hillsdale, down Raleigh Road, back to Park Avenue.
Yeah. So with that, I would be happy if they just one day for anybody who wanted to be in shape or anybody that wanted to run a little small donation or marathon, say the Tiger Lee Hall route.
Can you run that route now?
I was thinking of it. I got to run it. I got to. I like challenges.
Gee,
So I said,
you forgot how old you was.
I think I'm gonna have to get out there. And, I believe I can do it.
Hey Lee, I was jumping that damn rope last week and said, "Whoa!"
Yeah, you stretch. I believe. I know. In fact,
you can get the whole thing.
I believe I can. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it now. I'm gonna have to do it because you don't put me out there.
Hey, Black, let's put a documentary out, Black.
Do it.
Hey, we're gonna work on a
All
documentary.
right, let's work on it.
You actually think?
Yes.
Shit.
Hey, let's vote. Let's vote on it. Let's vote on it.
Hey, do y'all think he get at his age right now? I'm not gonna say his age, but at his age right now, I seen him when he walked up to the door for him to come in the building, and I said, "Damn, he's still in shape." I did say that. Lee. I said, "Damn, he still look like he in shape." Hey, look, we're gonna do a documentary. We're gonna see this shit right here. At his age right now, he said he can run it.
Mental toughness, baby.
We're gonna see Black. We're gonna see can we get a permit.
Let's do it, baby.
We're gonna see can we go down, get a permit, and we're gonna make some things shake. We're gonna try to.
Let's do it.
How we gonna film
It'll
it? Just
be beautiful, man. Let's do it, baby. Car right beside me. No quitting, baby. No quitting. No quitting, baby. Let's do it. The Tiger Lee.
Y'all heard it here. Tiger Lee.
Yeah.
Said he gonna get back ready. And he gonna run that route again.
I'm gonna run it, baby.
Woo!
No water.
No,
I used to no water. I never drink
Man,
water.
you crazy as hell.
I never drink water. I run that route. I don't ran the route in 90-degree weather.
No water.
No water.
At your age right now.
No water. No water.
Hey man, we gotta have somebody with EMT on standby too now. You can do it.
Yeah, I believe I can do it, man.
God.
I mean, of course I drink water before I start, but after that,
That don't make you heavy when you drink that water.
I don't drink a lot. I don't drink a lot of water.
Do you do room temperature?
Yeah, that's the best for you. Cold water.
Cold water bad for
your
you.
spleen.
Yep.
Yeah. And one of the most important things on your body is your liver. It processes all your food. So when it comes to meat, what I do is it take meat longer to digest out of your lower part of your stomach.
Lower
So
intestine.
when I eat meat, what I do is I triple the vegetable and I give the meat a couple of days to digest. You don't want to eat meat every day. And you should make sure you want to use the bathroom less than twice a day. And if you get up in the morning time, drink a little water,
There you going.
use the bathroom,
Yeah.
then eat your breakfast. Don't put your breakfast up top of the food you just ate last night.
Get it out your knee and go again.
So you got a cycle going on. Well, that's how I used to do when I had to
Drop weight.
drop weight and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a cycle.
Okay. I'm taking note. But you done messed me up talking about that damn Tiger Lee Hall
Oh,
route
yeah,
at your
yeah,
age. We're gonna try that
yeah.
though. We're gonna do a documentary on that one, man.
Yeah, whatever respect, man, the public, man, deem fit necessary. However, you know what I'm saying, it'll be okay with me.
Lyles Media Group and the Uncle Sonny Bigz show. We're gonna do that documentary, man. I want to see you run that route, man. And that's motivation. That's encouragement.
Yeah.
That's discipline.
Yeah, and anybody who want to get in on it, you know what I mean? We could do a charity run, Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Can we put something together? See, hey,
That'd be nice, man.
that'll be nice, man.
Yeah. Because one of the other things that I had a concern about was, we lost a lot of brothers, over the years, and some of these fathers, so we got kids coming up without their biological father.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe I don't know how it could be worked out where some of these kids can be drafted to get a special, gift out of or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever is raised.
Okay. Hey, we'll work that out, man.
But yeah, on the route, yeah, I'm on it.
Did you calculate how many miles that was?
No, I think it's probably around 5.
Shit, it's more than that. Cause I know
The longest I ever ran was 16 miles.
When?
But I did it by mistake.
You ran a day, 16 miles?
I did 16.
How many hours?
16 miles. Yeah, I think it was
About 3.
2, something like that. I didn't mean to. I miscalculated.
Huh?
Yeah.
Was you tired?
This matter of fact, this one I was on. But the weird thing about it is when I'm in shape, I do not get tired.
Huh?
It's like I can't explain it. You know what I mean? Once you in this top shape, you just
that's true.
Stop, but you're not tired.
You ain't tired. You were born for this shit. Yeah.
You just don't, you're not tired. And I remember when I was training that way, because actually, I won't say any names, but I started training in this certain kind of way because I knew something was like, what in the world? But I was sparring one day, and it was a shock. It was just weird, man. Like I was sparring, and I almost lost somebody that I felt as though I cared about in the boxing ring.
Right.
And whatnot. Yeah. That's when I realized even then how serious it was, and my training to tell me don't get in no fights and stuff because you can accidentally kill someone. And a lot of people don't know this. I never talked about it, but so people can understand that the sport it's a really serious sport. It's not really nothing to play with.
No.
When I saw the person, they after we sparred, and I said, what happened? I know the ambulance came, and the person was in the hospital for a couple of days and stuff like that. And and I'm fortunate myself because I was in a fight with a guy from Mongolia. We went the distance, came to a draw after my long layoff, and I had some damage. I didn't know that's why I'm cut right here.
Mm-hmm.
That I was internally bleeding. I was getting ready for that fight. The door was down and go to Puerto Rico is what I'm saying. Didn't even know it. And then finally, when I had to get checked, then they were like, yeah, but it wasn't in a bad place. So they went inside, burnt it, and got me straight, yeah.
Yeah, I do know. My uncle told me a couple of stories, like how, I don't know if the guy was Indian or something, or Cherokee, or he said that boy hit him so hard, said he was in the ring, Like you know that knockout. You know that you knock out, but you're standing up and knock you for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, out on your feet. Yeah.
Out on. He said he was out for a second. He caught himself.
Yeah.
He said, "Whew."
Yeah, out on your feet. Yeah.
So that's what's called out on your feet.
Yeah. And that's the most dangerous because then.
That's one sport I wish I would have got into.
Yeah, I think we had a gym here in Rocky Mount back in the day. I'd be realistic. I'd be like, man, like, I mean, man, it would have been just so much.
We had a whole bunch of champions running through there, boy, because there's a whole lot of boys around that can fight.
Yeah,
but,
and athletic.
Yeah.
And got that will. I mean, and the thing about it, normally in cities, they have a gym like different sides of the town, and they compete against each other.
Only Wilson. Only gym we had was Wilson.
Yeah,
right?
but imagine we had a gym down south, we had
one
a gym
over here
downtown, here, and they could compete. Then they building up their amateur record. Then we go and compete against Durham, Wilson, Raleigh, Wilmington. You see, then that's how these guys build up their amateur pedigree. You know.
Cause that power in that bag now. You hit that speed bag. You hit that damn bag enough. That power coming, baby.
Yo, it's coming. Yeah,
it's coming, boy. You tear that bag up enough, boy. Whew, when you tap somebody just playing around.
Yeah, I love that bag.
Yeah. I used to hit it a lot, man. I told you, I think my baby gloves are still at my mom's house somewhere in a bin. I had a great pair of baby boxing gloves that my uncle gave me. Because when guys, like, I took boxing gloves to my job.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah. Talk that shit you want to inside here. Hey, look, Joe, I used to tell people, don't let these glasses fool you.
Got that red bow come out of you.
Man, that boy tried to slap me one day at work. Tyson, Riddick, Bo, Holyfield. I ain't see nothing but straight jabs for the next 7 minutes on his ass.
Dang.
And my partner looked at me and said, I really thought you couldn't fight. I said, fighting don't solve nothing to me.
Yeah.
Like you said, if I step on somebody's shoes, hey, man, I apologize.
Yeah, right.
Like, don't unleash that beast. Because once it start, I don't feel nothing till the next damn day.
Yeah.
You understand about that. You know how that go. Hey, once that damn anger kick on, man, all right, come on. Let's go and clock in, baby, because once it's over with, you're going to be hurting a whole lot worse than me.
It's different.
It's different. And you got to be built for that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited, man. I'm glad you came through tonight, man.
I made it.
And you shocked me. With that damn, talking about you going to run that damn whole damn route again. We're gonna talk. We're gonna put the bug in the Rocky Mountain, the city of Rocky Mountain, about the Hall of Fame thing, about trying to get you in there. I like what you've done your whole career. I like the man that you have became.
Thank you.
I appreciate everything you have done. I like how you changed your life, like you said. You know what I mean? Like, once it's behind you, it's always full.
Yeah, everything's in front of you.
Everything's in front of you. I always tell people, focus on the journey because the destination is already there.
Yeah.
It's already there. So you just focus on that journey. And, you know, when you don't believe in stuff, man, I always tell people, get quiet, ask God, and He'll show you every single time.
Every time.
But it's up to you to listen.
Yeah.
And Tiger Lee Hall, it was a pleasure for you coming on the show tonight, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We want to do a recap in probably about 6 months.
Okay.
But we also going to work on that documentary because I want to see this shit right here. Hey, Mo said it.
Hold on, man.
Hey,
what he say?
Maurice said he'll run with you.
Hey, great. That's what I'm talking about right there. You know, like, if we can get other people involved, you know what I mean? They want to test themselves.
Now, this the comical side.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Y'all already know where I'm going to be at.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, let's see some comments, man, before we close this thing out.
Let's do it, man.
All right. What's up, Carolina Carter Ray? South Side. Oh, you retired?
Yeah. The game, I'm trying to bring back a gym here now for the youth. Great Halls Gym. In honor of my trainer Leroy Gray, the great Leroy Gray. So that's my next journey and goal. You know, earlier. I wanted to close out my career here because it's weird. You know, I done fought at the Greenville Convention Center. I fought in Wilson, but I never fought in my own city.
Cause this is what I feel about Rocky Mount when it comes to that.
That
That's the
part right
only
there.
thing that they didn't have constantly. They didn't have no. They had one tough man event.
Yeah, but let me bring a little clarity on that. It was a time where we tried to get in here and fight, right? And we was told at that time, this is early in my career, that it was an ordinance that was put out years ago in Rocky Mount because they had illegal boxing. You know where downtown is, the railroad track? On that far end, like going out south, those old warehouse buildings.
Yeah, they had a
That-
gym. They did have a gym one.
That
possibly.
somebody had got killed back in the days there, like way back in the days. I don't know, it was during the prohibition or what. But
Right.
but they put out an ordinance in Rocky Mount where boxing will become illegal here. So, but I don't know if it's removed by now. But that is what they gave us at that time when we were trying to bring a fight in. Cause yeah, it would have been my dream.
Yeah, Kenny Washington said, "What's up, bro?"
What's up, Kenny? Yes, he definitely one of my long time.
Love Linwood Battle. What's going on, man? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Tonight's show.
He been in many more fights. Yeah.
Linwood.
I'm thinking about Linwood Silver.
Okay.
Steve
There go Steve.
Yeah, so my brother.
Yeah, Steve the guy. I call. Hey, look.
Yeah, he definitely that man. We at the Garden. Been in many more fights.
I told Steve, hey, put me some of them collard greens up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, when I say them collard, hey, boy, them collard greens. Hey, Steve, I'm always shout your collard greens out, boss. All day long, every day. I say, hey, put me some of them. I saw them. I ain't even had to eat them. I said, hey, put me a bag to the side. I'm coming down there and get them.
Yeah, I like paprika on. I like cayenne pepper on mine.
Why not crushed red pepper?
I like cayenne pepper.
Oh, okay, how you can.
I like both. I like all peppers. To be honest with you.
Thanks, Tamisa.
Yeah. So yeah, I finally made it up here. I'm glad.
Yeah, man, I'm glad we talked about it and you wanted to come on the show, man. I just always want to make sure I put people when you visit the show, it's a positive environment where you can get your message across. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, this right here, man, it touched my heart, man. Like, this is probably like the most love that I probably have gotten from my people in this way throughout my whole career. You know what I mean? Like, I felt, I don't know, I was just alone, but I knew that I had to do it. So no matter what, and then I knew what I was facing once I, get there. So I had to keep going. But you guys, man, are the champions, man, because you guys went off to do what you had to do to become who you are and bring it back to the city. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? Your generation, TT Hill and them guys, man. From that cloth. You know what I'm saying? And after that generation, things kind of run it down. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I'm proud of y'all, man. Like, for real.
Hey,
man.
we
I'm
proud of you.
inspired.
We proud of you too,
inspired,
champ.
you know what I mean?
One thing about it, man, you did it your way.
Yeah. I never forget the time Fonte Lyles, he threw that pass to Cub. Cub turned around and got it. And turned around.
Was that the night we were gonna jump on the coach?
It was a home. It was a home.
Was that the night Cub scored and got to the end zone and bad?
It was at home, man.
If I'm not mistaken, that might have been the night Cub went the hell off. I think that one of the nights Cub caught a touchdown, got almost to the end zone, turned around. Was that the night? And coach got mad and we told him, don't put your hands on him like that, dog. No.
Yeah, no great.
Oh, yeah. Well, Griffon, baby. That wasn't one of them
no
days,
doubt,
man.
Ain't no doubt about it.
We're going to wrap this thing up. You know what I'm saying? It was a great show tonight. Hey, man.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you here, Tiger Lee.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we're going to get together. We're going to work on that thing, seeing can we get that route set up so we can document this run.
All right.
Hey, yeah, you know what? I might run a little bit. I ain't gonna say if I'm in
Come.
shape by then. If I'm in shape by then, I ain't gonna run all up. But I run. Some. I'm gonna try. I try.
Hey, everybody do what they can. You know what I'm saying?
Cause when you hear me take that damn, I said, "Forte, pull that damn cough." I'm getting in. Cause I'm trying to get in shape myself, man. I've been doing on behalf of my sponsors, the St. Carl brand. I just want to, hey, we here. Merch is available. You can DM me. Bigz Barbecue. We'll be back soon. Just giving y'all time to miss the barbecue, so we're bringing that back. I'd like to thank the production team, Lyles Media Group, for putting everything together, making it happen, and my producers, Tamisa, helped me out with the wording and everything. On behalf of the Uncle Sonny Bigz Show, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And next week, we'll see you Monday night. So God bless. Good night. Until next week.
Ball on you. You don't chill for real. Yeah. Laying low, turn on the big show, what's the blend? Uncle Sonny on the mic, news like a whirlwind. Current events got the streets all wildin'. Top spots, local stars shining, keep smiling. Hip-hop, drama, the gossip, they spinning. Lyles Media Group, you know we winning. Event stories, yo, we're never missing. Tune to the show, something surreal and glistening. Got the scoop straight from the corner. Exclusive tales, ain't no foreigner. Street lights bright, local heroes rising. Bigz got the heat, criticizing and prizing. Midweek sessions, chat lines glowing. Uncle Sonny got the vibe, spotlight showing. Lyles in the cut, always growing. Big city tales, real truth flowing. Hip hop drama, the gossip they spinning. Lyles Media Group, you know we winning. Event stories, yo, we're never missing. Tune to the show, something surreal.